Hello, everyone, and welcome to another community async. We got async number 24, Boots All Dungeons, featuring Roz and Gilgamesh. This is all dungeon seed, where you have to beat every single dungeon in the game, but you start with sword and boots, and I think you start by, yeah, you do the escape sequence and all that stuff. Uh, let's get started here. Hopefully audio is okay. Let's see how we can sync this up. Okay, hold it. Hold it. Alright, good enough. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Also ignore the palette shuffle. It's fine as well. Okay. Already got some Dark World information. Yo, what's up, fish? So if you're not sure what's going on, this is a thing that I've been starting since the beginning of the year 2023, basically. Every week or so, I put out a new Link to the Past randomizer seed for people to play however they wish, if they want to treat it like a race, if they want to treat it like just a casual thing, whatever they want. And then at the end of said period, I'll pick two people to showcase on the restream so we can just kind of hang out, watch people play video games, and just have a good time. And, you know, maybe do a little bit of do a little bit of dunking on these two. That is also allowed. And this is also for all skill levels. Got a nice early lamp, which is funny because I don't think it's not a case of like, oh, you need the lamp logically to get through Hyrule Castle in this mode. Since it's standard, you don't. But we still happen to get it anyway. I wouldn't be upset about that. Nope. Yeah, and generally how I pick players is usually my first qualifier is if it's a new person or if they haven't been on the restream in a while, then it's usually, you know, if they gave me a mic-less, alertless audio so I can restream it without having to talk over them. And then I usually look at the times to see if we got a close race, close, exciting race, or sometimes it's fun to pick two playthroughs that are of a different time, you know, just to see how differently they played out. Ra's going for the 8 slashes to take out the ball and chain guard, while Gilgamesh going for the 2-pot. And we are walking out of here. So this isn't a key sanity, so all the keys, all the dungeon items are going to be in their vanilla location, not in their vanilla dungeons. We also will get all of our dungeon info as soon as we get, you know, you can check in the light world with a map check, or once you get to the dark world, you can check. So really, we're just searching for the items that we need to beat each dungeon. And because it's all dungeon, there is a possibility of items that you need to complete pendant dungeons to be located in Ganon's Tower, which is generally the last dungeon in the game that's often locked behind getting all 7 crystals. A lot of times you'll see like a medallion being in there, or a flute to get to Pendant Mire, or the rare, well, be tough to have like Pendant Eastern and Pod and have your first bow being GT, but I mean, that's certainly possible. It can happen. Let's see. So we got a lamp. Lamp's nice. It'll help us for future dark room stuff. We do need to beat Aga 1, which is Castle Tower. That's like in the vanilla game, that's how you normally get to the Dark World for your first time. Aside from like going up to Tower of Hera, but And with this early lamp, we could see an early Aga clear or required Aga clear to get to East Ark World, to get to the pod area, or maybe to get down to Hype Cave, stuff like that. It's possible, because I mean, right now the only thing stopping us from doing Castle Tower is finding a second sword or finding the cape. Either of the things would allow us to get into the tower. But Gilgamesh looking to be the first one out of Hyrule Castle. We'll see if these two runners follow the same path. I feel like usually you tend to go do Bonk Rocks and then head over to Kakariko Village, swinging by Lost Woods, seeing what items you got there. Maybe check Lumberjack, which is a location that's unlocked only after you've beaten Aga 1. Maybe we'll get a funny, like, big key there or something that could be required. Alright, Bonk Rocks, what do you got for us today? $50! It's nice having a little bit of money going into Kakariko. You can check the bottle vendor, pick up some bombs if you need to. So we are going to see the Lumberjack check from both players. We're also going to check the drops from the Bush Grab, giving us 5 rupees, so not as good as, red rupees, but not the worst. Only 10 arrows here at Lumberjack as Roz grabs some red rupees out of the tree pole. Interesting not going for, not grabbing all 4, just grabbing 2, but we are going to need money along the way for Bottle Vendor, the 500 rupees for Zora, 110 rupees to open up Palace of Darkness, and then another 120, 150 for minigames, stuff like that. Maybe a potion purchase at some point. But there's always opportunity to find money elsewhere. There are several, there's 50 rupees, 100 rupees, 300 rupees in the pool. Okay, Banane's Hut, give us some direction, because once we're done with Kakariko, I mean, if we don't find any sort of specific direction, like a bow, then chances are we just keep doing South Shore. There's a flute here in Blind's Hut. That's nice. There's our Moon Pearl as well. We'll need that for later. And Gilgamesh gets to 4 hearts already. Good stuff. Flute is nice early, and there's our Ice Rod. Wow. All these nice things. Early Ice Rod, that means we're going to have a pendant TR, but in this mode it doesn't matter because we have to beat all the dungeons anyway. If there's any time to get the flute, or ocarina, or whatever you want to call it, it's here in Kakariko, especially in the north part of Kakariko, if you're coming from the north. You activate that, and that kind of gets you some options. You can go up the mountain, have a quicker route to go check Agnes Cave over in the desert area, or do South Shore, stuff like that, or to go check Saha, maybe dip eastern. We did get a 300 here in the well, so getting some moolah. There's our glove. We're just another glove or a hammer away from Dark World access. That's nice. What else we got going on over here? $50. Sweet. Okay, well. I guess farming rupees wasn't that essential with all this moolah showing up. Let's see if we can find any other goodies while we're here in the Kakariko. Otherwise, yeah, we'll just keep on knocking out Overworld. It's, I don't know, feels like a pretty safe play to go ahead and full clear Light World. Aside, maybe skip a couple obnoxious checks. Gilgamesh making the play to go pick up some bombs. We'll probably see the same thing from Roz, having 0 at the moment. And you got plenty of cash to spare. Here comes the 10 bomb right here in the back of Tavern. $50. Not quite. Alright, where are we going off to next? The library has a heart piece. Gonna go check what's at the race game, the maze race. Roz gonna go ahead and blind check it real quick, while Gilgamesh is gonna peek at it and maybe flute away if it's nothing. And it is nothing, so gonna save a little bit of time there. Oh, and Roz did not pick up bombs. But fortunately, getting back to Kakariko to go buy more is pretty quick. Definitely want to have some bombs when you're heading out. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about the south route from Kakariko. Maybe hoping to pick up a couple bombs along the way. Not like that. It's one. What do we got underwater here? Just another 20. Gilgamesh gonna go ahead and grab that. Probably hoping to pick up another 20 along the way. Maybe route in a Zora pick. Yeah. Especially with the cash. I feel like buying bombs was probably the quicker option here, but... Okay, what do we got here in Mini Moldern Cave? We have a book. Interesting. There's some bombs. There's a bow. Nice. Some more arrows and a heart container. So right now we have a beatable Eastern. We have a beatable desert. Just need to get a little bit of magic. Do some ice rod strats. On land molas. But that's 2 quick light roll checks, or dungeons we can go clear. It is all dungeons, so we're gonna have to beat every dungeon anyway. Which is what I would explain. Oh, nice full magic drop there for Gilgamesh. That worked out really well. What is Roz doing? Fluting back to the dam. It's probably go, yeah, to do Mini Moldern Cave. Getting a little ahead of themselves. Understandable. I was expecting... I guess because Gilgamesh didn't get any money, not gonna worry about Zora stuff. Roz gotta be a little careful down to 1 heart. Don't want to perish here. That was a really risky dash. What the heck? Worked out. Ooh, that's spicy. Book for Roz. Bow, bombs, all that good stuff. We did also see a bottled bee over on the desert ledge, so that is another fetch quest check we can go do back over at Kakariko. Potentially even before, like, heading into the Dark World if we find a hammer. And we are getting some divergence. Roz heading up to the East Palace area to head into Eastern, skipping out on Ice Rod Cave. Fire shield on the torch. Gilgamesh says, nay! Okay. Once again, we are, at this point, I could potentially see... I mean, we might just get Mitz or Hammer and have Dark World access, or we'll get Cape or Sword and we have to go through Aga Tower to go find our Hammer and Pod, you know, the usual funny. The classic funny. Everybody loves that funny. First item in Eastern just being red bucks. Gilgamesh did spot the fire shield and is skipping out on right side desert, hoping that the other item is on the boss. Skip the map and compass that are over there. Which I think is a good choice. Especially because, you know, you're eventually going to have to go to Agnes Cave, and you can go back into desert, do right side, and then leave out the right exit. Second item, Eastern, just a heart piece. 'Tis not our Dark World answer yet. Let's see, this Ice Rod Lamel is from Gilgamesh. Ice Rod can be a little tricky because its trajectory, the speed of the shot is a little bit different than Fire Rod's, a little bit slower, but Gilgamesh gets it down, no trouble, and gets the Master Sword. Which is leading me to believe this might be an Aga for Dark World type seed. But that would only work if there's something on Pyramid or Catfish or in Pod that is the Mitz or Hammer. Gilgamesh is having to think real hard about this decision here. There's the Big Key, Vanilla Big Key here in Eastern Palace. Sorry, I need to stop hovering over Roz's video feed. Unless you like to see the YouTube play buttons. Wah, wah, wah. Definitely an Agnes Cave, so we can ignore that. So last item on the boss. And yeah, I like this. Just go to Eastern. There's really no reason not to, and maybe you'll find your hammer mitts. The question is, I mean, we do need to beat Aga Tower at some point, but obviously you're trying to avoid the potential hammer and pod dip that you might have to make later. See, if this wasn't all dungeons, the prospect of having to beat Aga for Dark World access would be kind of eh. But since you have to do it anyway, even if it ends up being wrong, it's not too bad. Though, an unforced double dip of pod is certainly not ideal. Do-ba-do-do. Maybe Saha has our answer today. Maybe. Maybe. Not Saha himself, since we don't have the green pennant, but maybe something back here. 20 bucks. 3 bombs. Heart piece. Okay. So, still currently uncertain. Green pennant swamp. Oh, I would love like a hookshot and GT seed. Alright, both players just gonna swap places. Definitely feel like this is the right play. So after we're done with these, our separate dungeons, all we have left in the seed is Zora, rescuing the old man, and Spectacle Cave. And Sick Kid. Right, we do have a bottle. So those could be the answer. I feel like I would probably be seeking those out before making the Aga play, just because there's really not much to do once you get to the Dark World via Aga, aside from dipping pod and a couple crappy one-offs. Maybe if like Hookshot showed up, and obviously if Hammer showed up, you would do it. Well, if Hammer showed up, you wouldn't have to do Aga anyway. I feel like in all dungeon seed, most people would prefer to save Aga until last. You know, beat GT, do Aga, and then beat Ganon, or beat Aga, and then go finish that pendant dungeon that you didn't do yet. speaking of all dungeons, I don't know if you all saw this, but the Season 6 of the Link to the Past Randomizer League was announced. If you don't know what League is, it's a team event for Link to the Past Randomizer, where teams of 3 sign up and they get put into a division where you race, a 7-week division where you race all the 6 other teams in your group. What are they called? Division... Yeah, division and then conference. Yeah. And one of the modes that they announced was AAD, which is something all dungeons. I believe it's called Almost All Dungeons, which is essentially all dungeons minus AGA 1. And how they do that is it's not a, by definition, an all dungeon seed. It is a defeat Ganon, but the GT Big Key is on the pedestal. So you are forced to do all the crystals and all the pendants. And that sounds like a silly mode. It sounds like it could be fun until you get something like, you know, dipping GT for that pendant dungeon required item to go get the GT Big Key or something silly like that. But I'm all for interesting modes and modes that don't include inverted, so it works for me. Okay, well, after this, aside from Roz skipping Ice Road Cave, both the runners are pretty much synced back up. Let's see, do we get a sick kid check? Do we head up the mountain? What's the play? What's the plan? This looks like sick kid. Oh yeah, and Roz has to do Agana Cave first. We just need hammer or mitts. That's a 20. It's still funny because like beating Aga right now is still kind of an like it's a no-brainer. Like it's not a bad play. It's just you know that if you do it, there's the possibility of the pod dip. That's what you don't want to do. Also, I do believe Roz has the Moon Pearl, just hasn't marked it yet. So I'm not in control of that. I don't have that power here. Alright, the Ice Rod Cave play for Roz. Didn't look like we got anything from the old guy. 6 a.m.? Oh, jeez. That's crazy talk. Okay. Well, it's Zora. Zora's the only thing we have left. And honestly, I wouldn't be against water walking and doing all the Zora plays right now. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad call. We're gonna see it on Roz's side right now too. Yeah, especially with a water walk to get there pretty quickly. Nice blue mail find. A red potion from the Waterfall Fairy. Thank you. Well, this is not the worst setup for climbing Aga Tower. Alright, if Zora's the answer, then that's funny. Nice bug net. Okay. I did not catch what was on Zora Ledge. But it's not like... Well, I mean, I guess you could have splashed to get to it, but... Probably nothing. Okay, well, both runners going to be running through Aga Tower now to get to Dark World, and then once you get there, you have your pyramid item, you have your catfish, Roz having a change of heart, and you're going to go check this 2 stuff on the mountain first. just in case. You know, you might get a hammer, you might get a hook shot. We already know that you're gonna get a nothing. The question is, will we see an immediate pod play from Gilgamesh? And, I mean, there's still the possibility that you dip pod and get just a hookshot. To hookshot across the broken bridge instead. I feel like this is kind of maybe just an attribute of the starting sword. I mean, with a starting sword, I feel like that alone increases the probability of having a Agaseed early. Just a wee bit. And then starting boots also, you know, potentially forces a higher probability of there being something on Lumberjack, too. Okay, alright. Ra's gonna be about a full Agatar behind. But I still like checking Waterfall, Cave, and Zora at this point, especially with Zora being in Logic. That's exactly what I would have done. Though I probably would have done it as soon as I did Ice Rod Cave the first time. Well, I mean, that's when Ra's did it, was after Ice Rod Cave. Gilgamesh did not. The best part is you do that, you do Waterfall Cave, the Water Walk with that, you check Zora, and then Hammer or Mitts end up being on Hobo or something. You're like, oh, come on, man. My goal is always trying to mitigate time loss. So, like, if... Or, you know, having... I never want to make a play or not make a play and then regret it later. Which is probably why I just tend to full clear everything every time anyway. Because my brain is always like, oh man, if I skip this and it's here, then that sucks and I'm having a bad day. But obviously that is not a winning style of racing. I think personally I'd rather lose because I did too much than losing because I skipped one thing and I had my answer. I feel like those tend to feel worse. But again, maybe my preferred style of racing is just not really competitive. Alright, nothing on the pyramid, and we're heading straight to pod. Yeah, because it always feels like the one time you do something, if you like never do something, and then the one time you do it, and it was right or wrong, it always feels so dang bad. It's like, I never skip this check, and the one time I do, it had that thing that would have helped me win the race, maybe. But that's just how it goes. Yeah, I'm excited for League. I'm still uncertain if I'm going to join or not, but I do enjoy watching and keeping track of... I do love my little League doc that I put together. That's always fun. Alright, Palace of Darkness, Aza Crystal. Green Pennant Swamp, right. So we have a potential hookshot in GT. Potential mirror. Maybe even flippers, depending on what Ice Palace is. Alright, and as always, big shout outs to both these runners. Thank you for participating in another fun async and letting me restream your race, your playthrough. Don't forget, chat, if you're hanging out watching, you want to support these runners, you can click on their name in the title of the stream. Give you a little box where you can follow them, or if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll have links to their Twitch channels in the comment below. Go check them out! They're both really cool. If you're like, wow, I love Randomizer. I wish I could watch it all the time and from many different perspectives. There you go. There it is. This is a really good spooky boss music for Aga. I like it. For those wondering what this music is, this is from Tales of Symphonia. Which, I think we had this discussion last time, that it was made by the same people that made Golden Sun. The same composers. Okay, still no hammer. Got our big key. So Pendant Ice, okay, and Pendant Thieves, of course. I'm not going to mark it on Gilgamesh's side yet because he hasn't checked. But we could have Flippers in GT. Could have Hookshot. We could have Mirror. Thieves Town is pretty much already beatable. So those are pretty much our only things that can be in Ganon's Tower. That would be required. Obviously, Hammer can't. I do hope for like a Hookshot or Flippers in GT. But at the same time, if I was one of these runners, I'm like, man, just let me do GT on my, let me just go mode GT, please. I beg of you. Nice hammer jump there from Gilgamesh. Gets across, grabs the 10 arrows. And I was wrong. Ra's heading up to Catfish. This could be big if this is the hammer. Oh, the mitts, though. Okay, well, I have a bad feeling about this pod play for Gilgamesh, then. Maybe Gilgamesh will get the hammer in here. Maybe Gilgamesh will find something else of value. So far, not so good. Don't really need any more money. Ether. That might be useful. And we're heading straight to the Mire area. Check Mire Shed, get our medallion info. Okay. So just Ether out of pod. Which might be required, maybe? Oh, okay, it is required for Mire. Oh, where's Gilgamesh going now? Now he's gonna do Zora stuff? Okay. I mean, we're at the point where it's like, it's either Catfish or Zora. Two of arguably the worst checks in the game. Obviously, Catfish is much worse, because it's isolated. Zora, you at least get a couple checks along the way. Clearly, what they need to do is they need to add more items near Catfish. Just replace the shop with something else. Put another waterfall fairy in there. Ross heading into Skull Woods. There are 2 items in here that we might be able to get without Fire Rod, potentially. Hoping to find... I mean, most people want to find Hammer before they go to Thieves Town. And very likely we're going to find what we need before Roz heads to Pod. Also, confirm on Gilgamesh's side that was just a 5er sitting on the Zora ledge, so he knows that the answer now is Catfish. Which never feels good after going to Pod. What'll be interesting is, what if Gilgamesh is like, oh man, that pod play stunk. I should make up that play by making the Mire dip, just in case there's something useful in there. Otherwise, you know, we have a fun little counterclockwise loop down to Hype Cave if you want to do that. What are we gonna find here in Skullwoods? I feel like we've only found dungeon items so far. That's it. Nothing else. Yeah, it's a bit of a woof. It's a bit of a woof. Titan bits for Gilgamesh. Let's see where he heads off to next. Quick mire check. Mire area. Mire shed, maybe. King's Tomb. Skullwood's coming up empty. So, does that mean the back has the big key in the big key in an item, probably? Alright. Now what? Looking for hammer, looking for hookshot, flippers, Samaria, mirror. You know, we still need quite a few things to wrap this up. I say wrap this up as if we're close. We are not. Tempered sword. That's a nice find. Basically loaded already. Okay. Gilgamesh has the Mire info. Honestly, it'd be hard not to want to maybe go for the Mire dip at this point, just because you want... I don't know, I know I would be like, man, I really want that pod dip to pay off. Like, what if it's a dip Mire with Ether to get the hammer kind of situation? But it's such a bad play. There's our flippers here in Thieves Town, so that's one less thing that could be in GT. Gilgamesh, forgetting that he has the flute. Gilgamesh has quite the glower on his face right now. What was that? That looked important. What was that? Was that a fire rod or a hookshot? I missed it over on Roz's side. Was the fire rod? Classic. Fire rod flippers here in Thieves. Which, oh gosh. You know, you know what that means. We could have a, you know, you could have your hammer in Ice Palace. Right now, that hammer could be in ice, could be in mire. Got some crummy options right there. Oh yeah, Roz. I've definitely done that one before. That's the classic. Just like any seed, it's like you go to a dungeon, you full clear, and then the first thing you find once you leave the dungeon is something to have to beat that dungeon. The classic funny. The Doug funny. Alright. See the P up at the top left, so Gilgamesh knows this is a pendant. But right now there still could be a mirror and a hookshot in Ganon's tower. I think it's kind of cool. Like, one thing I kind of like about this mode is this idea of like, okay, there is a possibility that these items are in GT because they're pendants. I think it makes the mode interesting. Obviously, nobody wants to have to double dip GT. Freaking small key. Oh, and tempered sword there for Gilgamesh, so both runners pretty much loaded up. Only difference is that Ether Gilgamesh got out of Palace Darkness. Now, at this point, I feel like Roz would be a lot more likely to make an ice dip over a pod dip looking for stuff. And maybe not. I mean, with Icebreaker, who knows? Nobody wants to go into Ice Palace anymore. So yeah, I think that leaves one item left in the big chest. Everybody loves that. This would have been a good dungeon, just grab the first 4 and then bail. But then, there's always the possibility that there's progression in attic room. I know, I've lost a race because I was supposed to dip Thieves Town to get, like, the mirror in the attic or something. That was a little different, though. I had to dip Thieves Town for a mirror without a weapon. So it's like, I can't even beat the boss even if I wanted to. It was rough. I'm actually a little surprised to see Roz head right back to Skull Woods. I probably would have just kept going south. You know, that would also potentially been an opportunity to, do Smith Chain, you know, come back, turn in... Well, it's kind of out of the way. I did see that Gilgamesh did not pick up the small key. Did we... I thought we saw a compass in the first area. Maybe we didn't. Big key, fire rod, flippers, compass, maybe? I guess he's hoping to never have to come back here, which I would be too. Oh, there were 3 items in the front? Okay. That would make a lot more sense. See, if I would just pay attention, then I wouldn't be spouting such nonsense, you know? Okay, 3 dungeons apiece. Gilgamesh, I don't think Gilgamesh knows this, but Desert is the red crystal. I'm just gonna mark stuff. Well, that would explain why Gilgamesh didn't grab the small key, so... You can always tell it's Camelot music just because of the boss themes. They always go so dang hard. Okay, just a heart piece off a month, and a 4th dungeon completed. Nicely done! Yeah, muscle memory, easy, really easy to do. Going back in for the other item, get a heart piece off a Stumpy. We'll see what we got at Hype Cave, and then I gotta imagine we'll see Skullwoods from Gilgamesh's side. But yeah, this is kind of a, you know, kind of a not very fun setup. It's like, just give me the hammer, please. Why is Gilgamesh? Do you know what mode you're playing, Gilgamesh? Too busy thinking about all dungeon keys where you don't have the map and compass info. Yeah, that's always bad when you, like, dip Skull Woods and then get the big key in the back, because, you know, you have to backtrack, but... Wow, that Hype Cave was kind of a stinker. So I guess if you're doing this, then I guess you would just probably just exit out of Skull Woods and keep going south. Ooh, I like that little bomb jump. Hey, bombs. You got your money back. Okay, so Gilgamesh skipping Smith and heading into Skull Woods to get the 2 junk items. So right now our answer is that Mire Dip, Smith Chain, or Ice Palace. I'm very glad I'm not playing this, because late hammer seeds are just... Oh boy, they're exhausting. They're really not fun. Gilgamesh will save a little bit of time doing back of Skullwoods first, and, you know, obviously having the Fire Rod coming in here first time. Gotta make up for that pod dip, right? I don't know, you're kind of almost hoping you find the Samaria so you can just like, okay, I'm gonna go do Mire. Because I bet the hammer's in there. Oh, we are getting Smith Chain from Roz. The Beerless Smith. Are we gonna get the classic mirror on purple chest seed? Maybe? Perhaps? Listen, if Gilgamesh isn't having fun playing the seed, then I call shenanigans, because he said he's specifically, this is his favorite mode ever. That's why I was a little surprised to see Gilgamesh not grab Smith after Digging Game on the way down to Hype Cave. I know it's a crappy check and you want to just wait and do it with the mirror, but that's like, there's no better time to do it. But, I mean, if you never do it and it never has anything, then just think of all the time saved. Where's Roz going? Oh, okay. Just want to get a little bit of fresh air before saving and quitting. Got it. I know I've done that, where I'm like, my brain is thinking about where to go next, so I just leave and exit, even though I'm going to save and quit anyway. Alright, well, if Smith has hammer or flippers... That's the thing, is if Smith has the hammer and Gilgamesh goes for the ice dip, looking for hammer, and see how the seed could go poorly. Dude, this moth is surviving. Jeez. Just a heart container. No purple chest. Yes, purple chest. Just flute into Kakariko. Save a couple... Save walk in there. By the way, everyone, if you're watching this and you're like, wow, this is such a cool idea. How do I get involved? I want to do this. This looks neat. Well, all you gotta do is join the Discord. All of this takes place within my community Discord. We have a whole Brew Crew Async forum page that people can, when they play their seeds, they can go in there and write about what they experienced, read how other people felt. It's all spoiler tagged. All that fun stuff. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm not going to put my Discord link on the video, but if you swing by one of the live streams, you can catch it there. How do you get involved, Steve? Specifically, you just gotta bring some pluck in here. That's all you need. Sorry, I was talking up a storm. Was purple chest bad? Assuming it was. Yeah, next Async is going to be basically another Key Sanity entrance shuffle, so should be a hoot and a half. It's okay if you're bad at Link to the Past, Rando. This is for all skill levels. You can also just play the seed, see how far you get. You know, there's a lot of people that play the seeds, but they don't stream it. Just play it, just, you know. You really have all the options you want. You can do whatever you want with it. If you want to just play it casually, just to kind of experience it and see what people are doing, or if you want to play it, stream it, and get it restreamed, the choice is yours, my friend. Alright, Shadow, we'll talk. Generally, every 5th async, I play it myself instead of restreaming it, but we'll see how the turnout looks. Okay, so this is an interesting situation. Gilgamesh, wanting that ether to pay off from the pod dip, is going for the potential 2 items in Mire over the potential 3 items in Ice. I think this is a good play in his situation, just because nobody wants to dip pod and ice and get nothing. Yeah, this Mire dip, I would have done the same. Because I would have already been too mad about Hammer not being in pod. I would have been so angry. Yeah, without the things that you need, it's like first chest, Freezors. Oh man, Kata Samaria in Mire. The classic. I feel like I was watching a race earlier that had a similar Kata Samaria in Mire. And, you know, when that happens, you just SMH. So that's good. I mean, even if Gilgamesh doesn't get the hammer out of here, this is a beatable Mire now. And, you know, that's one of those plays that people don't like to do, will tend to put off. It's a good find. It's a very good find. But are we going to find anything in this Ice Palace? Anything at all? Quake Medallion might be useful. Rod's contemplating their next play. You know you don't want to isolate Ice-T, but because you did the Ice Palace bomb jump, you're kind of set up this less convenient. You have to drop down and go all the way back up, but you're definitely here, so you kind of have to do it. Oh, and the mirror. Oh my gosh. Well, the interesting thing about the mirror is it does open up new stuff. I mean, if Hammer ends up being an ice, then Gilgamesh is more likely to be heading into different directions here. More likely to put it off, because now you have, like, K45, Graveyard Ledge, Tower of Hera, Ether Tablet, Checkerboard. Man, just imagine if Gilgamesh had actually dipped Mire after pod, got King, got Mirror, could have routed in some Mirror checks. He will get to do Smith with Mirror, so that'll be quick. Ra's going for a fun little bomb jump here to get one more check, which I don't think is logical. Whoop. Okay. Well, it was an Ice Palace, and it wasn't this is the worst. This is the worst case scenario. I'm looking for a hammer. It wasn't in pod. And it wasn't in ice. And, you know, generally you do one and then the other. Dude, if we get hookshot, we could just specky clip to go beat Swamp Palace. Problem. Gilgamesh get the spooky? No, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, you definitely, after this, you check Checkerboard Cave, you head up and do Death Mountain for Mire, and it looks like Roz's heading to Pod because you literally have to. Gotta go to Pod to get Ether, to then go to Mire to get Samaria and Mir. Now we just need a Hookshot or Hammer to be in Hera, Ether. That ends up being like Graveyard Ledge or K45, that would kind of stink. Whew. Boy. Seed's a bit of a stinker, huh? Just a bit. Gilgamesh having to play a little safe here. Oh my gosh. How did he live that? You got so lucky there, dude. Whoa, that was nutty. Alright, Viddy down. That would have been so bad. That would have been such a bad death. I mean, most boss deaths are pretty rough, but I feel like Mire and Swamp are... Mire, Ice, Swamp are definitely the worst. Pod's pretty bad, too. I anticipate Gilgamesh will hit up Checkerboard and then probably just head straight up the mountain. We're looking for a hammer, a mushroom. Gross. Do you fake powder now, though? No, you definitely don't. I mean, okay, I could see Gilgamesh fake powder along with checking Smith Chain. But no, that sounds terrible. Why would anyone do that? That would be a big... That'd be a stretch. That'd be a Galaxy Brain play right there. Just 20 bucks. I'm guessing this is going to be Hera now. That's the downside about death warping when you have too much health. Just gotta sit there and dunk on yourself. That's why I'm usually, like, less excited when I see a male upgrade show up in, like, entrance shuffle modes. Like, no, I don't want that. Well, if Tower of Hera isn't our answer... then we still have Graveyard Ledge and K45. Which, if it's not Hera, then there is a possibility that Gilgamesh ends up isolating Graveyard Ledge to go do Smith Chain down to K45. Oh, and Bombo's Tablet. Got a couple options. He does have the flippers, sorry. We could also have a Hammer in Swamp. That'd be fun, right? That would be hilarious. I don't blame you, Rose. Since you already knew that Meyer was the Ether Medallion, so you're just instantly like, really? I'm sure while you were going through Pod, you're like, just give me the hammer. Don't give me Ether. And there it is. Who does Hera Basement Torches right first? Gilgamesh does, clearly. We just saw it. I mean, doesn't need the magic, right? Magic's overrated. It's okay, Shadow. I'm sure you'll get over it. Wow, okay, it's not Hera. Hera is just a couple heart containers, so we must seek elsewhere. This hammer does not want to be found. Not at all. I think if you're gonna go for Graveyard Ledge... Oh, God, no, you'd have to go Village of Outcasts and go to the right. I mean, it's not that bad of a check. You probably just play it safe and go do it. Canis Maria for Raz as Gilgamesh takes down Molderman. Another dungeon done. We just got 5 more if you including GT. These runners are gonna get to enjoy last locating this hammer, and it might not even be hammer. It could be hookshot to like go to East Death Mountain or something. That'd pretty much be the only other thing aside from fetch quests. There isn't anything else. We're kind of down to just a couple items left that we're looking for. I'm still getting the feeling that this might be a hookshot in GT, but it's a pretty low probability. Okay, Graveyard Ledge first. Are we gonna get that hammer? Yeah, Gilgamesh avoided the ice dip for now. Just a heart piece. I can't imagine Gilgamesh goes for ice now when you have just a very easy loop from Smith Chain down to Bombos. I'm gonna laugh if this is a Hammer and Swamp seed. I'm gonna make. I know it's just a meme, not real. But I might have to start outsourcing these seeds. Let other people generate them. Ugh. Nice little door extension rail clip there from Roz. About to grab that big key. Hammer pegs. Smith purple chest was nothing. We're literally down to K45 Bombos tablet. Or first chest, first item in Swamp. Second chest, since first chest is a small key. And yeah, once we get Hammer, we are clear to beat the remainder of our dungeons. Potentially. I mean, TR could be Bombos. We might still need to go do other things. Couldn't imagine it's a hookshot. I don't remember the last time I've seen a hookshot in GT seed. It's been a long time. And okay, Bombos or Swamp. Jeez. Oh, gosh. This is beyond frustrating. Oop. Roz takes a spill. I think Gilgamesh just forgot purple chest. Whoops. But this might be the answer? Or did he do it and I just missed it? Oh my gosh, is it actually swamp? Yeah, it has to be. Ooh. Yeah, I definitely think he forgot to do purple chest, but I'm going in the swamp. There is something in swamp that we need, and it's either going to be the hammer or it's going to be a hook shot to go to East Death Mountain. Ugh. Ugh. Buh, buh, buh. Yeah, I'd be the same way. My brain is like, okay, it's either pot or ice. If it's not the first one that I picked, then I'm doing literally everything else first before going to the other one. Okay, hammer or hook shot. What's it gonna be? Too bad Specky Clip isn't allowed. Because if it's hookshot, then we could just beat the hook. There it is. Oh my gosh. Ah, that's so gross, dude. I'm so sorry. Alright, we are hookshot, maybe Quake go mode, or not Quake, maybe Bombas go mode. I think that was the item that we found in Ice Palace, was Quake Medallion. I think that was it. Oh, JK? Gilgamesh doing Dark Death Mountain first. Now, the downside about this is if it does end up being Quake. Gosh, I can't believe it was Hammer and Swamp. I literally can't. That is the worst possible Hammer location, 100%. Yeah, it's an interesting call, because on one hand, you know, we're still potentially 2 items out at this point. We definitely need a hookshot for Swamp. And we might still need another medallion for TR. So I think Gilgamesh just wanted the info. Well, he couldn't... Oh, I guess that's true. Do you just keep going in Swamp looking for hookshot? Alright, TR is Ether, so that's a beatable dungeon right there. So at this point, we can get into Ganon's Tower. And now you're kind of like, man, I should have just gone ahead and beat Pod while I was... Probably should have just beaten Pod before coming up here. Because then you could have just gone into GT. There was a hammer in Swamp. There's no way there's also going to be a hookshot in Swamp. There's no way. I don't know, it's a tough call. True, but everybody loves skipping left side Swamp. But yeah, if Hookshot's in here, then Roz is just in go mode and doesn't know it. On one hand, I feel like continuing in Swamp, I might have at least gone and checked the next chest, like the Compass Room chest or something. But knowing me, I'd be like, well, I'm gonna keep going because if Hookshot's in here, it's gonna be the last thing I do. I could see arguments for both. The chances of Hookshot also being in here are, like, pretty slim. I feel like once you get the hammer, though, I know I would be thinking about TR. Jeez. That sucks. That sucks so much. Holy cow. Like, I wish it had at least been left side swamp, because skipping that, if you're Gilgamesh or anyone else that skip that, it's gonna feel awful. But, like, if it was on left side, you'd be like, well, them's the breaks. But, I mean, I also see the argument where it's like, well, if I'm gonna go check Compass Chest, I might as well go ahead and do left side. But, holy cow. So, right now, Roz just needs TR info for go mode, but... I think maybe clearing Pod before going Mountain would have been a potentially better play, just because then, either, if TR is available, then you do TR. Otherwise, you do Overworld. And if it is available, then you have all your crystals, you can go into GT. I don't know. I might have been more inclined to... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I would have done. It's really easy to sit here and be like, this is what I would have done when you're watching from the side. But you really don't know what you would have done unless you were, playing it. Hindsight and all that good stuff. But yeah, this worked out really well for Roz, just checking literally one more chest. And at this point, Gilgamesh is probably gonna clear GT. I mean, the good thing is GT basement, as long as the big key isn't... As long as the big key is hookshot locked, then Gilgamesh can go mode GT, more of GT. You do the stuff that's not hookshot locked, and then you head up. Yeah, that's fair. I feel like Gilgamesh just wanted to play the odds that hookshot wasn't going to also be in there. That'd be my guess. But we'll check comments when we're done here and see what they thought of the seed. I mean, ultimately, it's just bad luck. Agate for Dark World, required double dip pod for Ether to get Samari and Mir out of Mire. Mir gets you into Swamp for Hammer, and then Hookshot is also in there. Honestly, Hookshot also being in Swamp when you're already dipping it is not, in my opinion, is not trolly or whatever. It's kind of just like, oh, cool. How convenient. I was already here making a arguably bad play because I had to. I'm still in favor of forcing junk on left side swamp always. Just because I'm tired of seeing every race come down to who skipped left side swamp or not. It gets kind of boring after a while. Or I just play door rando, where there is no left side swamp. That's the dream! I'm just bummed that Hookshot's not going to be in GT, because that's what I wanted. But instead we got Hammer and Hookshot in Swamp, which is arguably worse. So we had a French Vanilla Hookshot and a French Vanilla Samaria. Nah, it's fine. Palette Shuffle's okay. It's not ideal, but it's not end of the world. It's okay. Alright, well, as expected, nothing in TR, and now we're gonna do some overworld while I'm gonna assume Roz is just gonna clear out. Oh yeah, Roz hasn't even done Harry. Yo, have a good night, chat. But I mean, that's just the case of how one play can just completely alter how a seat goes. Oh, now we can pull the pedestal, haha. Haha. You gotta pull ped for GT big, right? Yeah, like, Roz is gonna get to skip all of Death Mountain Overworld, get to Go Mode, TR, all that good stuff. Gets to just Harapot and skip Hera Basement, so... Be curious to see how many people actually got that Hookshot on their first dip in a swamp. There's always gonna be that, man, all I had to do was check the next chest, and this would have gone completely different, but that's how it goes. But yeah, still, once again, GG's to both runners. Thank you again as well for letting me restream your playthroughs of Async 24. I wonder how often in a non-Key Sanity all dungeons that you get to actually go mode GT. Yeah, Gilgamesh is gonna have so much to do before they actually go back into Swamp, probably. Yeah, I mean, personally, I would not have left Swamp after Hammer. But I also tend to full clear, so... And it's just one of those things where, like, you know, that Hookshot could have been anywhere, for the most part. It didn't have to also be in Swamp. And it's like, man, I definitely would have gone and full cleared the Swamp when I could. And then you get nothing, and then Hookshot's just in TR or something. That's random for you, baby! If I played this seed, I would have got a sub 90. Definitely, 100%. I would have made all the right calls. It's not because I'm watching the seed unfold in front of my eyes, and... No. I'm being a ding-dong. You know what? Maybe this is just gonna, in an ironic twist of events, turn into a hover seed for Gilgamesh. What would be the most hated dungeon? Probably Ice Palace, before Icebreaker was invented. I think Pod is my least favorite in Rando. Just because it's annoying to get to, it's out, especially Pendant Pod. That place sucks. So this is... I like this play, just, you know, doing a couple extra checks just in case Bombo shows up, so you're guaranteed to get into TR no matter what. The last thing you want to do is run up to TR and see it's a medallion you don't have, and then it's like, ugh, I gotta go climb mountain again. And it's a quick check, and, you know, pick up a couple potions too, so... It's a safe play. Now, in Dorando, my least favorite dungeon is Thieves Town, because of all the extra crap you have to do to beat it, usually. You gotta have the big key. You gotta find the bombable floor. It is the most complicated dungeon out of all of them. Because you can't under-randomize those things. Unless you do boss shuffle, then it's different. Then it changes everything. You throw in boss shuffle, and then Thieves Town is just any other dungeon. Dorando's sick. I love it. At some point, we'll do another Dorando on here. Next Async 25, is Swap Keys, which is a cross keys, a crossroad entrance shuffle key, sanity. But instead, it's swapped entrances. So, cross keys is crossed entrance shuffle, where you have fully randomized entrances that can go between light and dark worlds. Swap keys is the same thing, except the entrances are swapped. So if you go into the Eastern Palace entrance and it's TR entrance, like the front of TR, then you know from that one entrance you went into that Eastern is going to be at TR entrance, like where Roz is going right now. They swap places. So it's going to be fun. I've been playing a few of those lately. Oh, when did, was Halfbat? That must have been in TR. Maybe up in the mountain. Swap entrance is cool. It's a lot more brain busting, though. Because even useless checks are info? Yeah. You know, you walk into... random cave in, like, the Lost Woods, the one that's like a chest minigame, and you find out it's Thieves Town. You're like, oh, cool. I don't have to go check the Thieves Town entrance, because I know it's junk. It's nice. It's very nice. It does require a lot more thought process to get through, and a lot of specific note-taking, since, you know, you're basically taking notes for 2 sets of info as opposed to just one. Sounds easier than cross, but harder to optimize. I don't know how to describe it yet. I haven't done enough of them. It is kind of just one of those, like... You're getting more information, but it definitely challenges how you route differently. And I feel like it's an easier thing to mess up. I feel like it's really easy to make a mistake with that one. But then it also eliminates the possibility of, like, these go mode entrances. Like, oh man, I just need to find the dam, and I'm in go mode. That's the last thing I need. You can very easily figure out where that is, just based on entering where the dam is. But it does require you to kind of do a little bit of homework, you know. Here's a cave that requires you to... that has a single pot that you can hook shot to, and it has a bunch of fairies behind it. Where is that located normally? I think it's Dark East Death... No, it's Light World East Death Mountain next to Paradox. Stuff like that. You gotta learn. Anyway, back to the seed that we're watching right now. Roz is just go-moding all the dungeons. Gets to actually do the Hera into GT for the last dungeon, and then it's just to find the GT big key and home free. So, not too much left in this seed. It does make me wonder who else also went one extra step into Swamp Palace. Because I know it's another situation where it's like, oh, sweet, I got the hammer, I can go do stuff now. And then your brain just completely realizes, like, afterwards that, oh, I guess I could have done a little bit more in Swamp. Whoops. And you just hope for the best. No. For this mode, it's still 7 crystals to get into Ganon's Tower. That way, items for the pendant dungeons could be in GT. Like, we could have had a hookshot in Swamp, could have had a mirror in Swamp, could have had flippers in Swamp, kind of thing. Gilgamesh having a little less of a fun cold stare fight, while Roz is getting hecked by these laser beams. Okay, big moment for Gilgamesh here. Is this straight to GT, or, you know, are we gonna do Pyramid Fairy? How much more crap do you do? Yeah, purple chest is probably very dead for Gilgamesh. Maybe. I don't know. It's tough because, like, when you dip out of a dungeon early, your brain's just like, I'm never going back in the swamp ever. Unless it's the last thing I do. At least that's how my brain works. And sometimes in a race format, you just have to play the odds and stick to it. It's not going to work out. It's half, you know, it's generally half the time, but... There's a big chance Hook is in GT. Yeah, because there's really nothing... There's just really nothing logically stopping Hookshot from not being in GT. Because, I mean... The only thing that could potentially stop it from being in GT is if Ice Palace was a crystal, and Ice Palace had a weird logic that required a hookshot to progress, but... And it... Actually, I think it did. Because the small key was in... Yeah. You know what? I'm pretty sure Ice Palace is hookshot locked. Because the only small key we got... Big key was vanilla, and the only small key we got was, at least initially, was the one that was in the spiky U room. So, yeah, this is a very quick Hera. Roz doesn't have to do Hera basement because in Go mode, stupid Hera pot, it's too strong. So, funny enough, we're gonna kind of get both runners 10 and GT almost at the same time. And I hope for Gilgamesh's sake that the big key is hookshot locked. Because, I mean, he's still going to get it. But, I mean, I guess all that really tells you is not to check upstairs. Are we going to see the... I mean, we'll probably see the hover from Gilgamesh if it comes to it. That'd be my guess. It's kind of a bit of a throwback to Async 1, which had Gilgamesh. And I think it was Gilgamesh and Shinmaru, where Gilgamesh hovered, never found hookshot. kind of the upside about all dungeons. So you have to get that hook shot no matter what. That is not avoidable. So yeah, Gilgamesh is going to go ahead and go full right side because there's only one check on the left, aside from the torch, that's in logic without hookshot. Man, I wish I wish I could hover reliably. I almost got it yesterday when I was playing, but there was no way. Okay. Well, there's the big key. And you're just like, man. I wish the hookshot was... I hope the hookshot's right here. Well, the good thing is Gilgamesh knows that... I mean, it could... I think it could still logically be on the climb. But Gilgamesh is obviously not going to do Stalfos Room or Rando Room. Maybe Roz will pick up silvers along the way or something. So, I mean, at least Gilgamesh will get to skip a couple stuff here. There's Bombos. Nice. Didn't check big chest. Oops. Ah, Stalfos, get out of the way. That Stalfos is the worst. Almost got again. Alright, what are we doing? Alright, we're climbing. Oh, nope, we're tile rooming. Well, the only other stuff we could find at this point would be silvers and the last sword. Sword. Both these runners might be heading up at the same time. Or close to it. Roz is just a few rooms away from getting that big key. I'm sure it was a... Probably didn't mean to skip big chest. Maybe. 10 arrows. Alright, what are we doing? We're gonna see the hover. Hover, hover, hover. I mean, if you're a consistent hover, this isn't a big deal. Let's just pretend that Gilgamesh already beat Swamp, and this is super close race. That, I mean, it does say a lot about Gilgamesh's skill to be, you know, just a swamp behind at this point. Despite doing quite a bit more. I wonder, though, are we going to see Pyramid Fairy before the Swamp Dip? Maybe grab his purple chest again? We do have Magic Bat as well. That could be a possibility. Look at that! Look at that sync! Oh, that's great! Kind of. I mean, I'm excited to just see some execution climbing up here. I feel like this GT climb music on Roz's side could be a little bit more amped up. Like, give me some boss music or something. Okay, both runners in the room. Oh, still kind of synced up. Ross setting up for the cane double spin, potentially. Ah, gets hit right away, unfortunate. I love that. I love it when it works. Not the recycle. For casual boots, all dungeons, it's gonna be a really good time, despite how crappy this seed was. I was kind of surprised to see Ice or TR also being Ether. I feel like the icy on top, or the cherry on top, would have been Bombos for TR, but then Bombos ended up being in GT, so obviously that couldn't happen. Listen, this is a great seed because I'm not playing it. Not well, there's silvers. And Roz is walking right by it. That's okay. I would have, if I was in Roz's shoes, I would have skipped that silvers too, because I never checked that top right room in go mode with this loadout. I'd probably check the other ones, but not that one. Oh man, alright. Here comes the hover. Killing Moldorm is interesting, though. Unless this is just a comfort thing. Come on, Gilgamesh. I believe. You can do it. Come on, Gilgamesh! No! Alright, we got a double for the first cycle of Agatu. It's not a very friendly spawn. Oh, wow, gets another double. Nice. Triple double, baby. Good job, Roz. Nice fight. Wow, second try hover. That was such a quick hover, too. Nicely done. I hate it, but I love it at the same time. Then gets bumpered around like crazy. Gilgamesh has a couple overworld checks, like Pyramid Fairy, Magic Bat. Yeah, Hammer Pegs. Shoutouts to two main tourneys ago where, like, there were 3 qualifiers that all had hookshot Hammer Pegs. Samaria strats with Tempered Sword. Well, hey, if it works, it works. Nice. Samaria strats with Master Sword are great. Tempered Sword, I would have expected it with that lineup from Ganon seeing dash strats instead. Just because Samaria will, like, lag the game a bit, but I'm not being picky. My tower! Nice torch glitch, too. Alright. I'm gonna assume we'll see hammer pegs, maybe re-grab purple chest. But yeah, like, this is a situation where I'm like, why I would be a little anxious about dipping out of swamp after getting hammer, because I know that it's going to be the last thing I do in the entire seed. But sometimes you just gotta play the odds. You just gotta hope that it's not there. Alright, very good. High, or 140? There's our gold sword at hammer picks. Gross. Good job, Roz. Get your GGs in chat. For Roz. Might have put the little Twiforce there. Yay! Nicely done. Solid run from Roz. While Roz is doing that, let's quickly take a look and see what Roz thought of this seed. No comment. Well, the only comment from Roz was in reply to someone else's comment about the hammer and hookshot. Which, you know, was kind of expected at this point. Yay. Yay. Purple chest. And then back to the Dark World. And then we'll probably... I mean, we'll probably see Pyramid Fairy next. At this point. You kind of just have to keep rolling with this. So the cool thing, Roz had the best time for this async at the 140.48. Followed by Shin at 141.15. I'm going to assume that both of those runners were probably the only ones to get hookshot after getting hammer, if I had to guess. Man, I feel like no, you know, the thing is, I don't always want to just pick the close races because I don't want to become predictable. Though it would have been fun to see the 30-second difference between Roz and Shin. But when you have like a big gap between two players, I want to see what happened. I want to see what caused such a big gap between two runners. But yeah, I think this is the last two checks, and then Gilgamesh back to swamp. It do be like that. It do be like that. Fortunately, it's just go to swamp. Oh, no, hold on. Spike Cave. But, like, I feel like for most of the seed, Gilgamesh was kind of hitting the right order of things. But I mean, that's the thing. All it takes is one play, one misplay, one play that doesn't work in your favor, and everything else, for the most part, doesn't matter. But when I started this restream, hookshot and hammer in swamp was not at all what I expected from this seed. Not even in the slightest. So, kind of incredible. You don't see that very often to get both hammer and hookshot in a pendant swap. Especially in a situation where, like, well, you know, there could be stuff in GT or locked by GT. But nope. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Yeah, once again, give it up to both these runners. Thank you again for letting me restream. We'll watch Gilgamesh finish this up. I'm gonna hope Gilgamesh doesn't mind, but I am going to swap to his audio just for when he picks up the hook shot. I just want to hear it. I want to hear his thoughts. And if he says a cuss word, I'm gonna be understanding of that. Sometimes you just gotta say a swear. Mature content warning. Once again, next async 25, swap keys. Uncertain if I'm going to restream it or not, or if I'm going to play the seed myself. But for that and all future asyncs, if you play this randomizer and you want the potential to be on restream with me giggling and pointing out all of your accomplishments and flaws and questioning all your motives and laughing at your face cam if you have it on, you can do it. Be the change. Okay. We're almost ready. I want to hear it. I want to hear the funny. And then we can go back to Roz's music. Okay, here it comes. Except I know I wouldn't have played the seed perfectly, because this seed had all the things I don't like in a randomizer. Alright, switching to audio. I want to hear it. Here it comes.
Ah, it was the next one too. Man.
Dun dun dun.
That's a bummer.
And that's it. That's how it goes. Could have said it better myself, Gilgamesh. That's randomizer for you. And that's the thing. What if Hookshot was in the front of TR? And all of a sudden, the play up the mountain was right. And then you just go mode TR, go mode Swamp, Ice, Pod. Sometimes it's up to the randomizer to decide who's going to have a better time. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Either way, very fun. Great showing from both runners. At the end of the day, this is still just fun. We're just having fun. We're just having a good time. It's not always about being right or having the best time or like the best finish time. You should always have the best time ever. Have a great time. Have a fun time. Ah, what a nice little fade out. Ding-a-ling. Alright, now I'm gonna pause that and look at the pause button on her timer. That's okay. Alright, gets a fire shield, gets a pendant. We're heading to go fight the guy. I think I heard... Hold on. I heard TMNT music, so let me turn that on real quick if I can find it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And we'll just listen to Gilgamesh's audio. I don't want to be imposter anymore. I just want to be a chaotic crewmate. That's all I want. Gold Sword Silver's gonna put that pig down quick. Especially without all the, with fewer warps. You just gotta have the right energy to be a lion imposter, and I just don't have that energy right now. I just would rather be the loud crewmate that everyone's like, he's probably imposter. Alright, there you go.
Oh,
Get your
there's gonna be some real
GGs.
fast times on this sheet, I bet.
Well, you'd be surprised there, Gilgamesh.
I'm probably like 15 minutes faster if I continue in Swamp there when I find that hammer.
Yeah. It do be like that. Dead. Alright. There you have it, folks. Let me quickly just read Gilgamesh's comment, if there is one. Glad Willard's track record of rolling absolute trash has remained intact. I bailed on Swamp after finding the hammer, did literally everything else before going back in there, including GT. Thanks, game. Also, I thought this was Key Sandy when I started up, so that was a fun 10 minutes of me trying to figure out why I wasn't finding any keys, maps, or compasses in the wild. Good job, Gilgamesh. That is also funny that more than one person also forgot Purple Chest. So, classic funny. Alright, well, there you go. There you have it. There is Async 24. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure, if you're watching the stream right now, or if you're watching on YouTube, to go support these runners. Make sure to go check out their channels, go watch them play Rando, and we'll see ya for the next Async 25. Bye-bye.